This video is going to explore the area and perimeter of 2D shapes. So here what we have are the area and perimeter of triangles and quadrilaterals. So we all know from junior cycle that the area is the amount of flat space that a shape occupies, and it's always measured in units squared. Perimeter then is the sum of the length of all of the sides of the shape. Sum means addition, you add them all together. So for a rectangle, you do the length by the width, or you add the length, the width, the length and the width for the perimeter. For the area of a square, you're just multiplying the length by the length, or the length, adding the length 4 times for the perimeter. And what you'll find is the area of a triangle here is in your formula and log tables book on page 9. And for the perimeter, you just add up all the sides, and the area is the base by the height, and you get half of it. This is a parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is the base by the perpendicular height, and the perimeter is 2 by A, because there's A, and 2B, because there's 2 sides that are the length B. A trapezium then, again, the formula is on page 8 of your tables. It's half of A plus B times the height. So you add A, you add B, you multiply it by the height and divide it by 2 because you get half. So let's have a look at some practical area and perimeter questions. So let's establish what these are. The first shape is a rectangle because it's got 7 and 5, so it's not a square. The next shape is a triangle, and we know what the formula is for that. This shape is a parallelogram, and again we have a formula for that. And this shape is a trapezoid or trapezium, and we have a formula for that. So pause the video now and see if you can get the answers that I get for parts 1 to 4. So notice how I got the area of the rectangle length by width, and it works out 35 centimeters squared because it's units squared. Area of the triangle then is half the base by the height. The base is 4, the height is 2.5, and we get 5 centimeters squared. Now let's look at the parallelogram and the trapezium and see if you can get these answers. So what you'll see here is we got the area of the parallelogram is the base by the height, 11 by 6, and then the area of the trapezium is half of A plus B, so 6 plus 10, by the height, which is 7, so half of 6 plus 10, which is 16, by 7 is 56 millimeters squared. Okay, up here we have a trapezium, and we're asked to find the area of the shaded part of the shape. So we need to break this down. So find the area of the unshaded part first. So what we need to do is make sure we have all our measurements. And you'll notice that over here, I have 1,200 centimetres. I need to convert them into metres. So I've got 1,200 centimetres, and there's 100 centimetres in a metre, so it's 12 metres. Because when you're solving all of these, you need to make sure that all your units are the same. So I have metres, 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 and now I know that this is 12 metres. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken out this shape here. So that's what we have up here. And we know that it's a right angle triangle. So I'm going to use the theorem of Pythagoras to find the length of the remaining side. So this is going to be my C. This is going to be my A. And this is going to be my length B. And we don't know what B is, but we're going to find it. Now the theorem of Pythagoras says that C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Okay, C squared is 13 to be squared. That's equal to A squared, which is 12, plus B squared, which we don't know. So we can just leave that as B squared. Now when we break that down more, this is 169 equal to 144 plus B squared. Now remember from before, we always bring over and change the sign. So I'm going to have 169. This time it's take away 144. That's going to be equal to B squared. So just a little bit of algebra here. This is going to leave me with 25 equal to B squared. And we know that when we want to find out then what B is, we get the square root of 25, which is 5, which is B. So B is 5. So the area of this triangle, we can say is half of the base by the height, which we now know is a half of 5 is the base, by the height of 12, which will give us 30 centimetres squared. So I've now found the area of this shape of the triangle, this shape here. So now let's find the area of the full trapezium. Okay, so I still know that this is 12 meters now because I've converted it. So let's find the area of the trapezium. Again, this is in your formula and log tables, so you don't need to learn it off, but you do need to learn how to use it. Okay, so A and B are the top and bottom, so the 30 and the 20 centimeters. So we have a half of 30 plus 20. Okay, and that's multiplied by the height of 12. Now we know that that's a half of 50 times 12, which we know is going to equal 300 meters squared. Now if we know that 300 meters squared is the full shape, and we know that 30 meters squared is the triangle, the area of the shaded part is equal to 300 centimeters squared, take away 30 centimeters squared, which will give me 270 centimeters squared. And that's that answer fully completed. Okay, so now I want you to see if you can complete these questions. So in this one, in question 1, you're told that there's a 3 meters wide around the small park is shown. Okay, both are in meters, so we're fine for that. We need to find the area of the park, find the area of the path, so this grey part is the path. Okay, and what you're told is that the cost of replacing the path is 2 meters squared if the path costs 5.25. So you have to cost how much the path will cost to replace. Down here in question 2, then you have a panel from a stainless steel window. Again, all your dimensions are in centimeters, so you don't need to convert. It costs 50 cents per centimetre to manufacture the clear glass portion of the panel. The blue glass costs 20 cents per square metre, per centimetre squared. So this is your clear and this is the blue. And they want you to find the cost of producing the panel and how many of these panels will be needed if the blue window covers an area of 4.48 metres squared. And over here then you've got a rectangle split into 4 triangles, and you're asked to calculate the area covered by the pink part of the tile, okay, and calculate to the nearest tile how many tiles would be needed to tile the room measuring 5 metres by 4 metres, and what is the area of the floor would be white. Okay, so see how you go with those and use the examples from the video to help.